Hey guys, this is Heretic. Today I have the privilege of meeting with famed psychohistorian and mathematical savant Harry Seldon.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get started, I wanted to say, just like yourself, I am too called a heretic, or perhaps the heretic. I know you're a very busy person, but before we really get the video started, do you have any predictions that you could share with viewers?
Heretic, I predict that this video will be excellent and that the people watching will all subscribe.
Well, with that, let's go ahead and get started. Hey guys, this is Heretic, and in this video I'm going to go over my early game setup and why I do it, and maybe you'll learn a few things along the way. Alright, so I'm going to start out with my fleets and how I have it set up and why. So here, if I go to fleet, you can see 1, 2, 3. I am Kinetic here, and you know it's Kinetic because it has this little gold circle thing here. My second one is also Kinetic, and my third one is Beam. Beam is the little hurricane symbol. Alright, so, and I'm going to show you why. So let's go in here, and let's go over to my crew. So here's my crew. Hey crew, what's up guys? So if I go over to Heroic Crew Assignment, you'll see Enhance Nexus. And so in the Nexus, you'll be able to open up eventually the beam and then the ion. But as you can see, I haven't been able to open up ion yet. So I've been able to add heroic team members, crew members, to both Kinetic and Beam, which gives me bonuses for those setups, and that's why I have my fleet set up as Kinetic, Kinetic, Beam. Kinetic is easier to get champions for, although I'm not able to completely fill them in. I have my first setup here is Eva.
Prison management is
Cocoon.
Alone, we are weak.
And
those sucked
Zora,
into the vortex of...
they're on my fleet 1. That's on my Graham. They're relatively easy to get as far as the star
His Majesty gave
levels.
me a new life, and
You're
I
able
belong
to
him.
get these fragments for Cocoon really easy, and probably the best way. I mean, you'll get all kinds of stuff in events, and you'll get them in your traders network here. You go through these star commissions and you'll get lots of fragments that way. But for Cocoon, you'll get them mostly whenever you go to a new system. So if I zoom out here, when you go to a new system that you haven't been to before. So if I go over here, if I go into one of these that I haven't been to, this one I have, but this still shows us what we need to see. You'll get, just by exploring this area, you'll be in the different planets, you'll be able to get 2 Cocoon fragments along with the recruiting shard that you can use to recruit more champions. And so, if nothing else, if you just fly around and explore the map, you will get a lot of fragments for Cocoon just by doing that. Again, you'll also get a lot of them here in the starred commissions. You'll get a lot of fragments just by doing these different commissions, and I probably won't be able to find any now that I said you'll be able to find a lot, but you will, trust me, you will. Alright, so again, on my fleet 1, I have Eva, Cocoon, and Zora. And it's a great setup. They're all super powerful. And the reason that you want 3 of a kind is so that you get an added bonus for having them. And if I go to Fleet 2, and Fleet 2 is also Kinetic, and I have 2 more Kinetic heroes here. On Fleet number 2, I have 2 Kinetic, and it's Ryan and Lanny. And I also have Jody, and these are all free to play. You can get all of these. Jody comes up all the time as rewards, and these guys come up constantly in that traders network, just going through there, doing commissions. That commissions, you can do a ton of them. I don't know how many, it's probably like 50, 60. And then you have to wait 4 hours and it resets, and you can do the same thing again. So you can continuously do those and get a ton of fragments for them. So again, free to play, mostly free to play. I would say that Eva and some of these, getting them up to this level just by free to play in the first 2.5 weeks isn't realistic. You'll have to buy some. There are some, especially for Zora, there's a daily special pack that comes out. I think it's $5. And you get a lot of fragments just for her from that. Also, the food to be able to get them up levels, the best way that I found out is free to play. It's here in Radiant. As you go through, you'll get a ton. Look, just from this one, it was 420 something thousand food, which is what you use to level up your champions. So just by doing Radiant, you're going to get a ton. I usually get on the Radiant, and at the end of one of the matches, it'll say, just continue. I check that box, I walk away, or I flip over my phone while it's on the charger, and I'll do something else. I do the same thing over here with Strike Back. I'll start it, have it going, and then I'll set it to just go as long as it wants. If you lose, you don't lose anything from it, and you get all the rewards when you come back. It'll get to a point where you'll get a big reward and it'll pause there, so you'll have to come back to get that, and then you can continue for the next set. Alright, so now my third fleet, and this is where I have one of the best, absolute best champions, which is Evan, and he is not free to play, and he doesn't come up very often, and I don't have very much, and the way that he works is different from all of the other champions so far, in that he has special shards. You can't just use the ones that you get from the different shops and from rewards and all that. And so let me show you here in champions. He has,
as an assassin,
his star level can only be
is 100 times hard.
You can only get him promoted by getting his special shards, so you can't buy them. I mean, you can't get them in any other way. Whereas Aaliyah, which is also in my third fleet,
I just slipped.
you can get her star
didn't
level
scare you,
up
did I?
just from the normal champion fragments. So it's absolutely possible there. And the other, so I have Aaliyah, Evan, and I have
my aching
Doug.
joints are my medals.
And Doug, you get a lot.
But these medals
in
are weighing me
rewards,
down so much I
which
can barely
is another
walk.
Great thing. And a lot of events, you get Doug fragments. Again, you can level him up with the normal champion fragments as well, which is great. All the purple ones, super easy to get, super easy to level up and not spend. He's
Leave security
up
to me. Don't you trust me,
his
Captain?
star level is all the way up here without any spending on him. So just by doing free-to-play stuff, just by being super active. I love the game. I'm playing a ton. This is not to sell the game at all, but I do like the game a lot. Hint, hint. And that's why I'm doing this video. Alright, so that's my fleet, my normal combat that I have, space combat. What about planetary combat? So you have events like Port Raid, and I can show some of it now, but I've found that the best for me so far is... I started off with these three because I was thinking, they're my best built out. Even their ground combat skills are really high. Some of them are maxed out. And they do much worse, much worse than Evan, Aaliyah, and Doug.
My aching joints
Those
are my
three
medals.
together, and they don't even have
these
their
medals are
abilities
weighing
very
me down
high,
so
like
much I can
maxed
barely
out or
walk.
anything. And they do 3 times the damage on ground combat than my main Kinetic group does. So I'm definitely switching over to them. I think with my with my Kinetic group, I was getting 7 and 8 million on port raid, and with my Beam group, I was able to get 24.3 million. So that's the best there. This is my kind of my setup so far. I'm not just focused on leveling up my energy core, which is really high, and I'll probably have it at 29 in a couple days, in a few days at least starting it, because I'm on the cannon right now, and I think the cannon will be finished tomorrow. I'm here at 28, so I'll be starting 29 in the next day or 2, 3, somewhere in there, and then from there I'm guessing a week or 2 for 30. The resources to upgrade now are very high, 65 million. Yeah, that might slow me down a day or 2 or 3 to get those. It's not that easy. Research. So research is super critical, and honestly, my crew and my researcher are my lowest right now. Here, I've just been going through and leveling them up as fast as I can.
Science has no limits. Or perhaps we've just reached the threshold of its true beginning.
And I don't want to spend on that. So I'll let that go through. And then you don't forget about your economy and development. That's really important. Maybe I can start one of these.
Science has no limits. Or perhaps we've just reached the threshold of its true beginning.
The other thing is crew. So, crew. What I will do right now, and I wish I would have done this from the very beginning, is you can get the beacons. You can get them off of the discount shop. So you definitely want to do these things. You want to go here to the guild shop, and you want to definitely get, especially if you have a big discount, you want to get these. If you also, you can get a pretty good discount on your beacons, so you want to get them here as well. So I like to get my legendary champion fragments here. I like to get beacons as well when I can, so they'll come up on different things. Also, I'll even do resources sometimes on here in the guild, because if it has a big discount. So I'm only going for like the really big discount. 70% is pretty darn good. So the other place is over here in the shop, in the trade center, and you'll get several times a day the discount shop will open up. Within here you get 5 tries at it and refreshes, and you can go through and you'll get really good discounts here. So you definitely want to take advantage of the discount shop. Regular shop you never want to use. It's not worth using. You also have the glory shop, and so you can use your glory here to buy things like beacons, and I wouldn't buy that here. But yeah, you can get good stuff here just from glory. Valor, same thing. Here you want to focus on Lily, and I'll probably get some flagship fragments here. The other big thing is a Raic crew member, who's the best heroic crew member, and he's very difficult to get. You have to search this map to be able to unlock him. Not easy at all, but definitely the Lily, this is the best place to get her fragments, and you can get those free to play just by doing that. And later on, Lily is an ion based hero, so later on, when here my Nexus, when I'm able to open this up and fill out all of my champions, I'll go 1 Kinetic, 1 Beam, and 1 Ion, at least at first, and try them out and see if that's the best setup. Potentially I might go with 2 Kinetic and either Beam or Ion eventually. It just depends on my champions and my setup that I have. Also here you have the Intel Exchange shop, which is really good. Look, you can get some cocoon here, And you can get this by just doing your normal commissions every day and being active. It's not anything that you spend on. And other than that, I mean, this is kind of my setup right now. I'm keeping busy, keeping focused. I play a lot of hours right now. We have some really cool events coming up. And just staying busy. Okay, so in the beginning, don't forget your trade shipping. You want to do that every day. This is a great thing to do before you go to sleep. Set them up because it's going to occupy 2 of your ships. Right here, your flagships are going to be trading for 3 hours or more. So it's a long time. So do that before you go to bed. You also have ruin raiders, and you want to go to excavation, and you want to do these every day, and you get really good rewards here. I've been lucky to get some mythic and legendaries. I fill them up with legendaries. And the legendaries give you some of those legendary champion fragments, and the mythic does as well. You can get some really good stuff from here. So I definitely would do that. You can also get the legendary components for your flagship, which is great. We can go over and look at my flagships. And so this is where I have focused a lot on. And so I not only just focusing on my gram, but also on my opportunity here, and on my, see if I can pronounce it right, Demerzel, and updating my components here. And so what sets this as a beam is that I have beam components in here, and I have filled this slot with the beam component. And you want to have the same types, because if you look at them, you get, if you have 4 of them, you get, or if you have 3, you get the set bonus of increasing the attack, defense, and intelligent beams of the units by 10%. So they're 10% better. Eventually, you would go with the legendaries, which are a lot harder to get, but starting to get a few here and there. And over here, same thing. If we look at the components over here, I have some blues over here. So I want to replace those with the epic, the purple ones, eventually. And I want to level them up as I go. And again, these are all kinetic. And then on my main, I can go here. So I've leveled these up as much as I can as I go. Once you get to these, you have to do these different levels at 30 and at 40. You have to do a breakthrough. So at here at level 30, to be able to go to 31, I would have to get another one of these railguns that are for kinetic, and I would have to absorb it, which I don't. I don't have one. And so a lot of people say that, you know, it's smarter to stay with these purple ones, because the epic ones, because they're a lot easier to get. So it's a lot easier to do the breakthrough to get it to like level 40. Now to get to level 41, I have to have 4 of the same type. So it gets significantly more difficult to do that. And thinking you have to balance each of your flagships, because you don't want to let one down, because when you go into PvP, you don't want one to just get wiped out at the very beginning. You want to be able to do as much damage and have their abilities apply as much as possible. So I'm going to use the beam more as my meat shield, while my kinetic ones attack more. But this is how I'm set up right now. Again, this is still early game, still just a little bit over 2 weeks. And I think probably at week, 1 month in, I'll be at max level for my ship. I'll be able to get a lot of my combat crafts. So, it's a lot of fun. I keep really busy in the game. There's a lot to do. I haven't even gotten to the end game part of the game. So I'm looking forward to that. And with that, I will be posting more videos on Foundation Galactic Frontiers as time goes by. I will be doing more of a champions tier list coming soon. I will be doing more PvP. I'll be showing some of our PvP that we do as well. And with that, take care.